Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? It's Q back at it again. Another Q Reviews. Happy to be here. It's episode 9. I'm very excited for this episode. If you're new here, go ahead and like, subscribe, and make sure to share these videos. Today we're trying something new. I wanted to do a series kind of dedicated to Throwback Thursday where I will choose 3 movies from a certain year in the past. I'll place them all in a poll on Twitter at QReviews channel. Basically, the poll will be open for 24 hours for you and all of the other voters to go ahead and vote on which movie you'd like to see me review. So the films that are chosen, they're gonna be films that I grew up watching. Maybe you haven't seen them, maybe you've heard of them, maybe you have heard of them and you're a big fan. I've seen a lot of weird shit. So the first poll, I chose the year 2002. It was a really good year for me. I was about 9 years old. I just had a lot of fun and a lot of favorite movies during that time. During that year, 3 of my favorite movies came out: Spider-Man, Like Mike, and also Drumline. In the poll, Drumline won by a landslide. So today, let's talk about Drumline. Alright, so Drumline. Drumline is a coming-of-age dramedy. It's a drama comedy from director Charles Stone III. It stars Nick Cannon, Zoe Saldana, and Orlando Jones. Nick Cannon plays this sensational drummer, Devin Miles. Devin is recruited by Atlanta A&T. He's recruited by Orlando Jones, who plays Dr. Lee, to come to Atlanta A&T to be a part of the marching band and join the Drumline. Basically, during his first semester, he not only earns a spot in the band, but he is a part of the Drumline, and he falls in love with this upperclassman dancer, Zoe Saldana. Her name is Lila. This movie, it's all over the place, but it's so cohesive. So let's go ahead and talk about a few things that I liked about the movie. What I liked. First, I really enjoyed the music. The production team really got this movie right when it came to music. It's like they studied HBCUs, they studied marching bands, they studied music, and they brought quality musicianship into this movie. You can just tell based on the choreography, you can tell based on the mixing, the mastering. You can also tell on the arrangements that the marching bands played in. And it's not just Atlanta A&T's marching band, but you have Morris Brown. You even see Clark Atlanta University in there. You see a lot of different HBCUs participate in this movie, and you can just tell that the arrangements and the musicianship is just there. And it was really cool to see that in a movie on this scale. Also, another thing that I really liked was the story. The story is amazing for a coming of age movie. It just does it right. You kind of become invested in the trials, the conflict, you are invested in the love, you're invested in the friendship, and it just feels right. Also, the acting in this movie, it kind of like ties into the story. The acting in this movie is phenomenal. The chemistry in every character is authentic. Just perfect casting. It's great because it's literally like watching someone attend college. The last thing that I really like, the cinematography of this movie. Shit. It's just outstanding. The opening scene is when the camera's panning over Devin Miles and his high school graduates, and you see him slouched back. You kind of understand what it represents because he's slouched back while everyone else is sitting up straight, and it shows like in this crowd, he stands out. And the more you watch the movie and the more you kind of pay attention to these things, you're like, that's really good cinematography and how it's mapped out and how it's panned. It just looks stunning. From scenes where you're watching the band perform and you see the high intensity movement, the vibrant colors, and then even when you see dialogue happening in the movie where there's a scene where the president of the university and Dr. Lee are having a conversation and it's distant. Orlando Jones is facing forward. The background, has like a gradient blur, and then it pans back to where the president is speaking in front of him. You can tell that it's not focused on Orlando Jones. Whoever's speaking has the focus. I just thought that the cinematography was it was incredible. It just looks really good. It's a good looking movie. All of that to say, there are a few flaws in this movie. So let's just talk about a few things that I didn't like. Okay, so the story is great, but the pacing in this movie is it gets weird at times. It's like there are a few scenes that either were drawn out way too long with non-verbals, or there are scenes where it's over communicative and it does not hit sometimes. It could have been a little smoother if things were cut down. There's apparently an extended cut, and I'm just like, shit, you could have cut stuff from the theatrical version, but sometimes the movie leaned on the convenience of the plot way too hard. For example, Nick Cannon has braids in the beginning of the movie. Devin Miles has braids. Devin had to shave his head for not remembering the last rule of the Atlanta A&T marching band rulebook. And that's cool. But we have to ask ourselves, what if there was another character that forgot the rule in the rulebook and already had a bald head? Like, why was that rule even existing? Why would shaving your head be the punishment for not reading the rule book, It's stuff like that where it's like, that's just way too convenient because he had hair. What if he didn't have hair? Another thing, the BET Classic having the two-way tie at the end. The Morris Brown band and Atlanta A&T band, they had great performances, but it's clearly set up for Atlanta A&T to win the BET Classic. The two-way tie happens and AJ and Free from BET 106 and Park come out and say that, the bands will have to have their drum lines come into the center of the stage of the field and they're going to have to drum it out. And I'm just like, that's so damn convenient. That is so convenient, bro. It happens. And that leads into my next thing. This happens, the drum lines come out and they give a great performance. Like whoever choreographed the drum lines for both bands. They come to the center of the field, they drum it out, it's lit, they do what they need to do. Atlanta A&T wins. Literally, they're celebrating on the field and the movie is over. It ends. Boom. It's so abrupt. They're celebrating and the end credits start and you're like, all right, okay, like it's over. Character development, done. There's that. And I think my last issue with Drumline, okay, there's a scene where it's Atlanta A&T's homecoming. Devin gets the opportunity to be on the same level as Sean, who's the lead drum line major or something. I don't know what they're called. But basically, it's time for Devin to shine. The band performs. Dr. Lee gives a great performance. It's awesome. Then for some reason, the drum lines need to come out and battle. Great. We get a really good drum battle. And it's getting intense. You can see the rivalry between the two drum teams. Nick Cannon's character has this issue, has this complex where he has to be better than everyone. It's like, okay, solid, cool. Okay. So he's playing the drum. He's going in. He's clearly getting to this other guy that's on the opposite side. The guy's getting to him too. Nick Cannon is beating his drum and stuff like that, and he decides, hey, I'm gonna go over, I'm gonna beat on that guy's drum. And it's like, all right, let's do it. I'm with it. So he beats on the other guy's drum, baba da baba da baba. He's just going in. And the guy turns his drum and just punches Devin in the face. The bands fight, naturally. Okay. In that scene, you transition and stuff, you're doing a little follow-up of that scene. And people are upset with Devin, and they're saying Devin started this fight. And for the life of me, I don't understand how people are sitting here upset with him for starting this fight. He didn't start the fight. He never punched that guy. He beat on the other guy's drum. Now, I'm not a drum expert. I have no idea. I've never been in a marching band. I don't know how disrespectful that is. But I just know that this man lost his scholarship for beating on another person's drum, and that person punched him, and now he's kicked out of the band. And everyone's mad at him, and I'm just like, come on, losing your scholarship? He didn't start the fight. I have a big problem with that, clearly. All in all, I have to give this movie a 9 out of 10. It's one of the best movies ever. And it is for nostalgic reasons, of course. I'm pretty sure if we really pay attention to the movie way harder and we just judge it way more, it can be knocked down a few numbers and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it has its flaws, but the flaws are kind of what make the movie incredible. And it's a movie that it's lasted with time. It still looks good. The bright colors and the chemistry, they really overshadow the lack of thought that's in the script. So you have to always remember not to pay attention to the script. Just focus on how pretty the movie looks, to be completely honest. I think this movie is a great demonstration that Nick Cannon, he's a really good actor. And I think he gets a lot of flack for, people deem him as corny and, he might not be the coolest and stuff. But I also feel like he doesn't get the credit he deserves when it comes to his longevity in Hollywood, his career, and just everything that he's done in his life. And that's my thoughts on Drumline. I love this movie. I want to thank everyone who voted for this movie. I was actually really hoping to give my thoughts on this one. So thank you so much for allowing me to share my thoughts to you on Drumline. Comment in the comment section. Tell me what you thought of Drumline. What are your thoughts on music-based films? What are your thoughts on Nick Cannon's career? And then make sure to like, subscribe, share. Go into the description and find the Twitter handles where you can kind of go in and submit your votes for those polls that are coming out soon. And just make sure to hit that notification bell so you can be notified when all the new videos are dropping. Thank you so much. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Be cautious. Till next time. See you guys later. Peace.